Welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna talk about the pure awareness. Okay, this is part one of the Power of You. I'm starting a mini series called the Power of You, in which it might not be a mini series, it might continue forever, you know. But anyways, what we're gonna cover is the power of you, the power of yourself, the power that you are, but also that you have, and not something that is unlocked, but something that is realized, something that's reawakened. Okay, so in part one, we're going to talk about the pure awareness. We are essentially laying the foundations as to how we can come to the understanding of even interpreting, or in our logical mind, interpreting what we are. Because when you know what you are, when you know who you are, you have power. So in part one, we discussed the pure awareness. You are the silence that precedes the vibration. You are the silence that precedes the noise, and you are the silence that precedes the speech. Everything that comes to be, there is something that exists before that, the thoughts, emotions, the feelings. There is an essence, there is a being, which is you, which exists, which is eternal, which is always underlying, it's always the same, it's always peaceful, it's always blissful, it's always joyful. It's the one that's observing everything that you are experiencing, because there is something that knows that you are aware of your experience. You have an experience, but you also have the awareness of the experience. So in this pure awareness, we see that all answers are within, because that is where the real you exists, not within the body only, but within the space of which we call everything. So in the space of everything, that is where from you exist, because that is where you find your pure consciousness, your pure awareness. That which you are already precedes what you think, believe, or feel. This is the infinite intelligence, the flow, life. It's literally life happening, and having awareness that life is happening. Therefore, you are that. You are more than you think, feel, hear, logically calculate, and etc. You transcend all of these things. Of course, it's normal to think that I am just what my experiences, I'm just my circumstances, but you actually transcend that. You actually transcend levels above it, because you exist in multiple planes at the same time. You are eternal. There's no separation from you being part of infinity as much as you think, or as much as we might have thought to believe. You are a far greater awareness connected to all, because you are that which is life itself. You are the essence and have become a manifestation of it. Your soul, the thing that you truly are, has just manifested itself into a physical density, which is this experience of Earth, this experience of this planet. That is why we're having this experience. But your awareness, your consciousness actually transcends you, because you are that which precedes all, and then you experience all. So this is what we come to understand. And if you haven't had this experience, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, whether you know this or whether you think about this all the time, it doesn't actually matter, because you already have that power which you are. This is the power of you. Here's an illustration of what we're talking about here. So we're talking about, obviously, source, which is pure awareness, which is what we say precedes the noise, precedes the vibration, precedes the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, that which we believe we are, but we're not truly. So you are actually the you before the thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and then it manifests itself into an expression. So you are source that is expressing itself in a form, in identification, in this separated life which you are experiencing. So what we are seeing right now in the physical density is you as the expression of everything floating around and within you. You have centered this one point, which is has become this perception of you and what we think to be us, as an individual. So how do we differentiate the difference between, our pure awareness, our pure consciousness, the eternal, infinite self, and then how do we differentiate between the manifestation and the expression? You ask yourself, who am I? You can even follow up with asking, who am I and how am I aware of myself? Am I aware? Ask yourself the questions, who am I? Am I aware? Because more likely than not, you'll say yes, and then you would have literally stepped into that which you are. You would have stepped into the observer, that which is observes your awareness of being a person, that which is aware and observes you as an individual expression. When we ask, who am I aware? Those simple questions bring us to the source, that is the pure awareness. If you have done so, ask this question. If you have asked this question, then you have your answer. By simply asking the question, you have realized that your awareness extends beyond what you see and think. There is something that knows within you that you just asked the very question itself. So there is an awareness, there is something, as I say, this observer, there's different terms you can call it, but let's say observer. So there's an observer that just heard you asking the very question. You just ask yourself, am I aware? Who am I? Who are you asking? You are asking the self, the infinite self. You are asking source, because that is what precedes all. So here's an illustration of what we're talking about. We're talking about the awareness. So picture this happening first. So the awareness that knows what you just asked, and then the question obviously manifesting as a realization in your individual expression as a human being. So there was something that preceded it becoming a thing. There was something that preceded it becoming even a question. There's something that preceded before you even realized the question. So there's something behind everything. There's a this is source. This is pure awareness. This is the pre-manifestation of the physical density. So ultimately, the power of you is that being you is the best you that you can offer the world. All is a reflection of you inverse. Because we see this with what we are talking about. When we talk about this pure awareness, when you understand who you truly are, what you truly are, you see your power, you step into your power because now you know, because you felt it all along. Because there was somewhere floating around you, within your cells, within your memory, within your within your energetic field, there was something there which was which knew there was more, which knew that you are not simply your thoughts, you are not simply your emotions, because that is fleeting experiences. The thought is temporary. Thoughts come and go. You have so many in a day. Emotions, they come and go. You have so many in a day. So if you were and just your experience, that means that you would disappear with your experience. That means you would be just as temporary as the emotions you feel. You would be just as temporary as your thoughts you feel, because those things leave. Emotions leave, thoughts leave, feelings leave. But what remains? What remains after everything? Because there's nothing wrong with feeling the thoughts and the emotions and the feelings, but it's the identification that that is what I am, but it's not what you are. Again, if you were those things, you would have left with your thought. You would have left with your emotion. You wouldn't even be here, because there would be a, a, a miserable version of you, and you would have been feeling the emotion. And once the emotion passed, and boop, you would have been gone. So you are eternal. You are infinite. You are existing. You are existing now. And you, the real you, actually is the pure awareness, is the pure consciousness. So this is the power, because when we release identification, we become more powerful. We have more control than what we seem to believe. We're no longer victims. We're no longer just dictated by how we feel. No, we transcend that and we tap into that which we are eternally. That not even a version of you, the real you, the source, the pure consciousness. Anyways, that's all for today's video. This is the power of you. This is the first video, the pure awareness, and in the next one we'll cover a few other things. In the next video I might be talking about vibration and frequency, and 11 ways that you can increase and skyrocket your frequency and vibration. Anyways, have a good day and take care.